All right, guys. Well, welcome to. We've got Bob here, and we're.
I'm back from the Upside Down.
Yeah, he's back from the Upside Down.
Yeah.
He's been gone for a while.
He got lost in the woods.
God damn it! Speaking of being lost, I lost my cigarettes.
Oh shit. Well, my name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human, sitting to my right,
James Odle, Alphaspecter.
and right next to him.
Bob Collins, Boba Fett.
And like I said, we're going to talk about Stranger Things. But before we do that, you should like our Nerd News page, Sorta My Comics, or Sorta My Brand on Facebook. You should follow Sorta My Podcast on Instagram or Twitter. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe there. It's Sorta My Brand. And you've got to be listening to this somewhere, whether it's SoundCloud, iTunes. While you're there, go ahead and like, comment, share, review, whatever it is. And of course, you can find all of our personal social media stuff down below. All right, guys. So, how do you want to attack this one? Do you want to talk like characters first? Do you want to talk about the story? Should we talk about season one?
I think along this process of us talking about it, we're going to reference a lot of season one. So
Yeah.
I just assume that if people have watched season two, they've already watched season one, probably at least twice.
Okay, so here's the spoiler-free thing. It's a great '80s time.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you're gonna love it if you love old movies like Lost Boys or The
Goonies or Stand By Me.
Yeah, anything like
even
that.
It, even part of the original It.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The kids and all, but
but that's really
with them kids and all that weird shit.
That's really all we can say without spoiling
that and Paper
anything.
Girls. It has a Paper Girls feel to it.
You know
too.
what? It kind of does. Well, I would say Paper Girls gets a little wilder, gets a little more out there.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm just talking about like alternate dimensions. And that kind of weird shit.
You didn't see it going that way. Like I didn't know much about season one at all.
I didn't
until
either.
around season two. That's when it really started calling my name.
See, I watched it about a year ago.
Yeah.
It was actually almost exactly a year ago, and
it was right around when it came out, wasn't it?
It was shortly after it came out. Yeah, and about the time that I finished it, maybe within a week or two after that's when it really started picking up. Like you really started hearing about it almost on every other Facebook post from somebody.
Yeah, I'd heard like tons of people talking about it. Everyone said I needed to see it, but then that doesn't always sell me. Like it hadn't called my name. But not until season two.
But it's one of those shows that it's like a lot of Netflix original shows. It's the only way I can get people to watch it. I'm like, just watch episode one. If you watch episode one, if you don't want to watch it after that, that's fine. Drop it.
Well, you also have to think, I'm watching just under 50 different shows.
Yeah, well, that's you.
Yeah, so like, whose
fault is that?
I made myself say, that is the CW's fault.
God damn you, CW.
Somewhat the CW's fault.
I'll just wait till Titans start.
I had to make myself finish My So-Called Life before I allowed myself to watch Stranger Things. So I finally finished that and I got started. And like I said earlier, I burned through it like 2 nights. Like I couldn't sleep, so I watched all of season one. And the next night I couldn't sleep, I watched all of season one. And I put off Beyond Stranger Things because I thought it was going to be like an hour episode, and it turns out some of them are like
20 episode or 20-minute episodes.
Yeah, there's only 7 of them. Yeah, some of them were only like 15, 17 minutes. I wanted to say episodes. Some of those episodes were only 17 episodes long.
Yeah, I mean, it's not very long.
But yeah, I think that's all we can say without spoiling anything for stuff from here forward.
To stay in spoiler-free for a second.
Okay, all right.
Just as like a quick spoiler-free quick review, it brings back a lot of the feel from the first season, like a lot of that, like a lot of little nostalgic touches that's not like in your face, it's not pushing the shit in your face, but stuff that like seems fitting. Like the songs that were playing seems like shit that would be playing at that time at parties or in the car.
That like half the budget for this season was the music.
Went on just the music for the last scene, the dance, just for the dance.
Oh wow, yeah.
I believe
Which, by the way, that dance scene.
Oh my God. We're gonna talk more about that later. Yeah,
but spoiler free is like we're now familiar with all these characters. One thing that was great about the first season is like, besides Winona Ryder, no one else was really well known.
No,
especially the kids. Like this is all the. I'm pretty sure all the kids.
Maybe you could say David Harbour.
That's Hopper, right?
Yeah,
yeah. That's playing the new Hellboy and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what else he was in prior. He looked familiar whenever I saw when I first saw Stranger Things, but
stuff.
That and Papa, the guy that plays Papa, I've noticed him in other shit. But yeah, it brings a whole new level to this story. The first one felt like very small.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, there was
Kind of like
completely
Kind of like it was a little more secluded,
Exactly.
a little more caged in.
And once you see season 2 in its entirety, you'll be like, yeah, it's definitely a bigger
They
scale.
dialed it up a little
Yeah.
bit more. I was saying to Odle when we first talked about it that it seemed like season 2 was not a totally different show, but a very different show. From
There's
the first season.
especially one particular episode that felt like a completely different show. And we'll get into that whenever we get more in the spoiler
Okay.
section. And I think you both know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's a great episode.
Oh yeah.
But it just felt out of place. It took me out of the overall flow of the second season.
Okay.
It's something that I did wonder about and such.
I'm a little
but-
lost on that one. But
Are you?
like you said,
Yeah.
we'll
I
talk
think I
later
know
about
the
it.
one you're talking
Yeah.
about.
But yeah, it did. It felt like a total. So, when you watch season 1, you get all that stuff that we said before. You know, you get your like classic '80s boys trope.
And not only that, but it was
type
also introduction to all of our characters. All the kids. We have the teenagers.
Mhm.
We have the adults. And then we
And there's
have
stories going on. With
and then we have all
of
the
them.
side characters like
and
the teacher, I mean the scientists and
Yeah.
shit, like from
the science teacher. Yeah.
the science
I like
teacher,
the
but I'm talking
science
about also the scientists.
Why are
and shit
you
from
Why
government.
Why are you keeping this knowledge door closed? So,
Why are you keeping it locked?
I wanna say that to so many people now. It did a great job of building those characters too.
Yeah.
Like
and it
I don't
felt
feel like
and it felt like a movie that could have been released in the 80s.
yeah, I don't feel like I don't know a single one of those people. Like I feel like they did a great job of
Yeah.
fleshing each one of them out. And even season 2 did a great job for that with the
And-
newer characters.
Yes.
Well, and
especially
not only that, but
Bob. And I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
God, Bob.
yeah,
Whenever I first seen
Yeah.
okay, you from here on out, were we getting spoilers?
Do we want to
Yes.
do we want to start this out on Bob? Just talk about Bob.
We'll
Yes.
start this out on Bob, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, from here on out, we are spoilers.
Yeah.
All in all. So if you have not watched, first off, you shouldn't even been starting this episode if you haven't watched season 2 of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
from-
season 1.
Yeah, season 1.
Like season 1.
First off, if you haven't watched season 1 or 2 of even season 1 of Stranger Things, what are you doing with your life? It's 8 hours, less than 8 hours of your life.
And it's a great 8-hour
It'll be the
movie.
best 8 hours of your life you'll spend for
it's
a
a
while.
great 8-hour movie.
It's a great 8 or 9 hour movie, depending on which season you're in.
Yeah. But, okay, from here on out, spoilers.
Fucking
Bob, first off, I was so happy to see Sean in that fucking movie.
Yes,
Yes.
Sean asked it.
Yeah. And at first I was like, hell yes.
Because we
80s.
already,
Like,
yeah,
it
we
already has
talked
the
about
80s
the
feel.
Goonies.
Okay,
so,
that getting right to that one spot where they're having him
Yes.
figure it out, and I caught it before, like it was even brought up before I even seen the Beyond Stranger Things. During the episode, I had to pause the episode, get right on Facebook, and make a post. That's like it
Oh, I
made
know
me
exactly
so
what you're
happy
talking about.
Yeah.
when Sean Astin says, "What's at the X? Treasure or pirate treasure?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God!"
And apparently
thank you.
it was
That's
stuff
all
like-
I needed. In the Beyond Stranger Things, they explained it like Bob was supposed to be killed off during that whole.
Yeah, but they kept falling in love with him more and
Yeah,
more.
and I'm
they just
so
kept
glad they
extending-
did.
Wait, when was he supposed to die?
He was
When,
supposed to die
okay,
early.
you know the scene where he's talking to Will about like when he had a nightmare and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
he had to
Yeah,
stand up and
yeah.
tell him. You mean he's not running, which
He
was
was
horrible
he
advice.
was the reason that Will got fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I was saying, which is
Terrible
horrible advice.
Terrible advice. But yeah, Will
Will was supposed to be essentially more like possessed and like already like very aggressive.
He was
and
already
supposed
pretty
to
much
kill
gone with the
Bob
shadow monster.
during that scene.
Shit.
Yeah, yeah.
That would have been an interesting way to go about it.
No, I like love
like
the
how
way
it played out.
I
yeah.
do too.
Because oh my god, you just don't see it coming when Bob bites the dust.
Yeah, you did. I did.
I did.
Dude, Becky. Okay, I was a good
Well, okay.
episode or so ahead of her. So like, I finished it, and she was already a few episodes behind. So I got to watch it. I got to rewatch them again with her. The second that they're like, "Well, I'll turn the power." When Hopper's like, "Oh, I'll go down and I'll turn the power back on," and then Bob hops in. And he's like, "Yeah, but what are you gonna do after that? You got to turn on." And Becky's like, "He's gonna die. He's gonna volunteer himself, and he's gonna die." And as soon as he says, "I'm gonna go," she's like, "He's gonna die."
Well, it was kind of a roller coaster because like so many times
Right.
it's
Dude,
like
the
he's
second
trapped
that
in
he
the thing.
stopped and looked at one
No,
of the characters,
that was
that
definite.
second. It was
That
like, oh,
was
he's
the
dead.
moment you knew it. But like the fact that he got out of that situation, like as soon as he closed those doors, I was like, "Holy shit, Bob's gonna live!" I was like, "Fuck yes, Bob, season 3."
No.
But no, then he stopped
No.
and smiled. Oh, you nice fucker!
Just
Stop
keep
it.
moving.
Like, yeah, like when he stopped, me and Tiff looked at it and we were like, oh, he's so fucking dead. Why'd you stop? Why would you stop?
Because I made a post when he leaves the gun. I
Yeah.
was like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
why would you ever leave the gun?
Literally.
And that's what the first time
Literally,
I was like, he's
as you went along, from the second that he brought up the fact that, like, what are you gonna do after you turn the power on?
Yeah.
Everything that happened at that was literally slowly like, oh, he's gonna die. Because
I disagree.
Because it's the weaker character that ran off. Okay, oh shit, he knocked over, or he left the gun. Shit, he's gonna die. He knocked over the broomstick. He's gonna die. And
I
then
disagree. I think it did an expert job at like he's gonna die. Oh my god, he might actually. Oh no, he's gonna
I don't
die.
know.
Wait a
Like,
minute, he got
the
out of
whole
that closet.
Yeah,
You know?
that whole
like I
closet scene.
constantly felt like this was the end of Bob the whole time that was playing.
I didn't know it until he stopped and smiled. Like,
Dude, the
that's
second
what
that
I
he
was
got
like,
through those doors, closed it, and then the second that you seen that quick little interaction, but like as soon as he stopped and you see both his and her face, I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
I
It's
got
gonna happen.
so mad too.
And then, like the way they did it.
yeah, the way they
God,
drug it
that was
out, and it
gruesome.
was even more gruesome if you'd have watched.
If you would have watched Beyond Stranger Things.
Yeah, there was so much more.
They
Like,
had this because there was this. I can't remember who the chick was.
she was a screenwriter.
Yeah, well, she
Yeah.
came in for just this one day, and it happened to be the day they're shooting that. And the Duffers were looking at her like she's a perfect size and build of a demi-dog. So it was her. Like when you're watching that scene, the demi-dog's fucking hand is like,
Yeah,
like,
that's
digging
her
in. That's
hand.
literally her, like
Oh,
on top of him,
nice.
covered in fake blood.
And apparently
It
they were
showed, like, the-
having so much fun with it that
Yeah.
like they just kept like ramping it up and at one point, like I guess Sean Astin like poured the blood in his mouth and was like gurgling the blood out, like shooting it out
completely
everywhere.
just drenched and
Yeah.
drowned in fake blood.
So it was supposed to be even worse,
Yeah.
but they cut it down a bit. But yeah, the way they drug it out, it was. I said I made a post and I was like, I'm red wedding pissed about this, like
Red
Game of
wedding
Thrones, like
pissed.
because I was so mad when the red wedding happened. And that was the same for this. I was like, fuck you, god
Well, and then
damn it,
they
Bob
fucking-
should have lived.
They rub salt in the wound when like everyone's gone and everything else, and they pan back to him, and the dogs are all eating.
Yeah.
No, it's really salt in the wound. It's like right afterwards, like, oh, Bob's the one that founded the AV club. And
I don't
like,
think that was really salt so much as it was like because another thing that
You know what
happened
that
in the
was? You
season.
know what that was?
What?
That was the Captain America cards after Coulson dies. Is what
Kinda
that was.
is.
That got everybody to get
Well,
together and
like,
like,
another-
let's defeat this. Finally.
Another thing that happened this season was justice for Barb. Like you figure, like
from,
Barb
from
died
beginning to end. That,
with Barb dying in the first season. You figure that was it. We're like nobody's
No.
gonna pay attention to that in season 2. We're never gonna hear about her again. No, the
and
whole
really, that
fucking
drew
season
that drove the plot for almost the whole.
drove like a third of the plot.
Okay, that whole. If you let me finish my damn the plot for the whole season with the teenagers.
Yeah.
Like
With
the whole from beginning to end.
what
It started out with
Jonathan and
Nancy.
Nancy. Yeah,
And Steve. Because
Yeah,
remember,
kinda- yeah,
Steve
Steve was
Steve started out at the dinner and shit. Granted,
that's
he
right.
didn't
Steve
wanna,
was the one at the dinner. Yeah, okay.
Well, and
which
that's-
them explaining that scene. You know how much fucking KFC they ate? He said him and the dad,
Yeah.
Barb's dad, went through
Because they
so
kept doing
much
that
KFC.
take with like
He said
finger licking good.
he said he ate like 7 takes, and each one was like he was taking monstrous bites and just like munching on it. Dude, it
Yeah.
was great.
But yeah, so like I feel like that whole like AV thing was just like a small way they're gonna honor Bob. I wouldn't put it past them to bring him up in the next season. Like,
Oh, definitely.
not a justice for Bob.
No,
arc
no,
or
no,
anything
but, like,
that, but yeah.
They'll
Nothing
definitely
repetitive.
drop his name or talk about like, you remember that time that Bob got mutilated because
Yeah.
he stopped and wanted to fucking smile at your
Okay.
mom?
Speaking of people to come up in next season, what about 8?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
don't-
what I was getting at earlier. That's the episode that I really loved but felt so out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way they introduced her was just so weird because you don't see her for like 6 more episodes. She tops off
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
And then she's
You
just
think
gone.
she's gonna be like
Yep.
this big critical part of this show?
Yeah, I thought she
It's
was
like,
gonna
oh,
get
there's
to
another
meet the other
power
guys
person.
and shit. Yeah.
Which don't get me wrong, like after you find out that 11 is the 11th child in this weird experiments and shit going on.
You knew there'd be others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like whenever they first brought up like at the beginning, like I kind of figured that's what was going on. As soon as the chick started using her powers at the first episode, beginning of the first
Yeah,
episode,
yeah.
I was like, this is another one of the
Well, yeah, because
one
it
of the
showed
kids.
like the
But
tattoo.
that was before they even showed the tattoo and everything. I was like, this has to be somebody else, like 11. And the second episode tattoo, I'm like, boom, there it is. I was like, okay, where's where's 9 and 10?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's kind
there's
of
1 through 7
it's
at?
kind of a double-edged sword because while like it was a kind of a disruptive episode,
Yeah.
it also gives us so much to look
A
forward
lot of
to.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
'cause
Like, it
there's
opens up so
more.
much more for like the other children, all the other numbers.
And I don't think we're gonna get to see all
No.
9 of the others, but
That's a whole other series. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, because maybe some of them died, you know, like, but maybe there are at least like 2 or 3 more.
They really
out
could do a
there.
spin-off after the next 2, because I think they want to do, what, 3 or 4
I
seasons
think
total?
I don't remember what I was listening to or what I was watching, but someone suggested that there should be a 6th spin-off, like do a spin-off to straight because they're only supposed to do 4 seasons. I guess that's the plan, is a 4-season plan for Stranger Things.
And originally, because I heard this a while, like long before season 2 came out. Originally, season 1 was supposed to end, and they confirmed this part, was supposed to end with 11 actually sacrificing herself.
Yeah, she
legitimately
was supposed to
dying
be
and being
dead.
done. What I always said before was like each season of Stranger Things was supposed to be an anthology. Like
It was always going to be
the
like
second
American
season
Horror
was going to
Story.
be like a whole other story of shit.
Like American
Kinda
Horror
like-
Story.
Kind of, yeah.
Or like the way they wanted to do the Halloween movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we had that conversation.
Yeah, that.
too.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, but then
And which would have been cool. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be against
I
that,
mean, don't
but
get
I
me-
like what we got.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love 11, and I love what's her name, Millie or whatever. The
Yeah,
chick that
Millie
plays
something
her?
Brown.
Yeah, like I love that character. I love that actress, but it was kind of like her sacrifice at the end of season 1 was just like, what was the point of like, what, maybe 5 minutes of us actually thinking she might actually be dead until like the egos are left by Hopper
Yeah.
and shit. And it's like, I don't know. It was just.
I can't really say it's
I
cheap,
felt like-
but I can't really
yeah.
say it was the best way to go about it either. It's
I
a
felt
little
like it was
bit
a
of a
little
mixed
cheap.
bag, but the thing is, we all got.
Don't get me
caught
wrong. I'm
up
splitting hairs.
Yeah,
here. Like,
until we actually started thinking about it later, like you get caught up in that.
No,
moment.
yeah.
Where she sacrificed.
And believe me, like I thoroughly enjoy and praise things that are a lot like loosely structured than fucking Stranger Things. So like, like I said, I'm actually going out of my way to try to criticize. some
While
things.
we're on the subject of 11, how do you guys feel about the fact that she was pretty much like segregated from everyone else for
The whole-
the whole season up until like the
I
last couple episodes?
love the interactions with her and Hopper.
Yeah.
Especially like this
Yeah.
like just hitting puberty
Oh
like
my
tantrums
God, him
and shit.
tussling
Like,
her hair, and she gives her the little smile. He's like, "I got a daughter again."
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude,
Like,
that-
I was like, "Oh, it's so
and the thing
sweet.
is, Becky she didn't go back and rewatch season 1, so there's some things she forgot about. She
Yeah.
forgot about that Hopper lost a daughter
Yeah.
until like midway through she's watching it, and I bring it up. You know, I mean, whatever he was, I think it was a scene where he's mad at her or something,
Mhm.
and she was like, you know, talking about like, oh, like she's his friend, like he cares about her. I'm like, well, yeah, like you gotta think, Becky, like he lost his daughter and everything. She's like, fuck,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Shit, that's a whole new layer on this. That's a whole different. You know, like, oh
That-
my god.
That scene where they're arguing and she's throwing her fish,
And she
and shit,
stops the dictionary
Yeah.
and fucking slings it back at him and
I was so anxious that whole scene. I was like, dude, just stop. I was like, I can see why you're not gonna stop, and I can see why you're not afraid of her, but at the same time, dude, just stop. She's gonna fucking
she will kill you.
Yeah.
She will. She's
all
so
she has
powerful.
to do is stare at you and twitch her head, and your neck is.
And
done.
she has that look. Like, you don't even have to know that little girl has powers. Like, you see that look on any little girl's
If you
face.
just
you're
seen,
like, I'm
if
about
I
to
just seen that,
die.
I would cross the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
right. Like that's. I'm good over there.
Like between her and the chick that plays X-23, those are the two
Oh my god,
meanest
yes.
little girls I've ever
I would,
seen in
I,
my
would, I
life.
almost want to see an X-23 11 club.
Superpower beatdown.
Superpower
That's
beatdown. I want to
super-
see 11 versus X-23 so bad.
We need to
maybe
suggest that.
Yes.
Somebody needs to suggest
We need to
that.
send, like, let's all make, each one of us make 50 different email accounts.
And,
we'll
maybe
all-
if we actually have a listener or two out there, you could do
yeah,
it too.
guys,
I mean,
email the Sun people and, like,
yeah.
get them to do it. I don't know. Like, I wanted to see more of her with the group, with the boys again.
Definitely.
Get back with the boys
Now,
again.
Now, but you can't say that the time that she's in the school, like how, like where they were just missing each other, where she sees like Max and shit, and
Yeah.
kind of knocks Max down. You know what I mean? Waiting for them to see it, but you can't say that the second that she sees Mike and they hug, and he's like,
No, because
he's like, I try to talk to you every night. She said, and then she finishes the sentence with 360 some day or whatever it was. Like, dude, I teared the fuck up. I am not.
No,
gonna
that
lie.
was beautiful.
Like,
but that part where she sees him and
Max?
Mad Max, yeah, like together, I was like, oh, that girl's gonna die.
she's gonna kill her.
that girl's gonna die so hard.
No, you know what I like? I don't know why I thought about this, but for some reason, real quick, there's a point where what's his name? Fucking the one that is
Lucas,
no, not Lucas,
Dustin?
not Dustin,
Will?
not Will,
Mike.
Thank you.
Okay.
Uh,
The one whose name we heard like a bajillion times in the
Yes,
first
dude,
season.
for some reason, and second season.
Mike.
Yeah, right.
It's the point where he's talking to his dad's kind of chewing his ass, and he says something along the lines of, "If your friends were to jump off a cliff, would you do?" I seriously thought they were gonna
Yes.
cut back to season 1 with Dustin going off the cliff and 11 catching him and pulling him back. Or no, it was Mike, wasn't it? Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, Mike was the one who
because
said,
he was taken up for Dustin.
I expected him to say something like, "In fact, I'd actually jump off the beach for them." Or jump off the cliff for them. Yeah, like that's what I expected him to come back with something.
But you saw that look
Yeah.
during
Well,
when his dad said that.
That's totally what they're referring to, but I legitimately thought there was going to be like
Well,
a quick scene where it cut back to first season.
They
They're like,
talked.
"Ah."
They talked about how in Beyond Stranger Things, they talked about how like all the other kids are a little more humble about like how they just saved the world and
Yeah.
shit. Like they're all like, we know we saved the world and that's the coolest thing. But Mike is feeling really disrespected.
And I think a big
He's
part of that is
gotten
because
really
he
angsty
lost
about it.
11.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
Exactly.
part of it.
So that's why he's giving those types of looks because he's like, bitch, you'd be dead without me. Okay.
To lead into a different topic, can we talk about how much everybody, I know you guys had to have, loved the Dustin and Steve dynamic? Like them walking down the fucking railroad tracks, dropping the chunks of meat. Remember, there's that whole scene where they're talking about the Farrah Fawcett hairspray and shit when they're walking down.
And then
That
talking about the
fantastic
dance yet.
Stand By Me
We're not gonna
fucking
talk
scene where they're walking down the fucking
the
railroad tracks, dude.
They're
Like,
just bonding and shit.
Yeah.
That was cool.
that was such a fucking great scene. And just like their dynamic together. And then by the end of the show, they're essentially like big brother, little brother.
Well,
fucking
and that's
dusted out his
why
hair all
Steve
blown
says
out,
that
dude.
line when they're picking out, like trying to get all the heaters and shit, and he's
Turns
like,
out
"I
I'm
was a
pretty
really
good at-
shitty boyfriend, but turns out I'm pretty good babysitter."
babysitting.
Yeah.
I
I
love
love
that.
that. And then it pays off with the dance, which we're not on yet. I think we should finale this with the dance.
Of course. Why
Yeah,
not?
we should finale this with the dance. But I really love the way that character progressed, and it's only
and
right.
Before, and you know what should be the line that is the segue into the dance speak?
What?
I'm coming in.
Yes.
I'm coming in.
Oh my god.
You would know what I'm referring to
if
you were to watch Beyond Stranger Things.
I made another post where like all of my future kiss moves is gonna be
I'm coming in.
Like that's my pre-kiss move from now on. I'm coming in.
Odle, Beyond Stranger Things has Bill Nye on it.
Oh
Yes.
my god, really?
There's an
Yes.
episode where he pops
That's
in and he describes alternate universes.
Very quickly.
Yeah,
it's
it was
very
really
quick.
like a.
I was really
quick moment.
hoping he was gonna be on there longer because I'm like, ooh god, like this,
It's like bringing out some black
like
boys
please,
and
like
shit.
bring out Neil deGrasse Tyson too, man. Like let's get this going. Like
Right.
I want to hear some scientific.
You know what the best thing is
facts
like
behind the shit.
when I can't remember which one of them, but one of them says something that's like really simplistic and is like a no shit type of thing, and then you see Bill Nye just kind of power through that.
Yeah.
There was a moment there where that happened.
The episode of Beyond Stranger Things where it had the kid that played Lucas, the black kid,
Yeah.
and one of the other kids starts talking out of nowhere. Lucas just pulls out tissue and starts blowing his fucking nose,
Yeah, they
and
start
everybody
sitting
stops talking. Like,
Yeah.
why would you do that? We're
That's
recording.
another fun thing about Beyond Stranger Things. It's very friendly because there's that
Yes.
one where Millie like calls the kid who plays Will out for being it was Finn Wolfhard. She calls Finn Wolfhard out for like fidgeting with all the stuff on the table.
Dude, she's like, why are you fidgeting so
He's
much?
so fidgeting so
Dude, then they go back
Yeah.
and watch all their audition tapes, dude. That was adorable.
That was fun, yeah.
Man, you can see how much they've grown in just that couple years.
Yeah,
Well, like,
really, yeah.
from last season to this, like Will, because we didn't really get much of Will last season.
And when you did, he always looked so frail and like
Yeah,
but
but here's the thing.
God,
I don't blame,
terrifying.
I don't blame
dude,
anyone.
he had a very
for-
like Omen feel to it. You know what I mean? Like where you're scared of a child.
I don't blame anyone for not like recognizing his acting skill in the first season. Like, I mean,
Because
it didn't
it
really
was-
hit me either. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
second season.
When you
though,
see
dude.
the second season, you see how good that kid is.
And where he
Yeah.
progressively,
The first season
and not only that, but
stands
he
out so much
progressively
more.
turns into a completely different character.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's some of these scenes that he's like, he's not even the character he was just the prior scene.
Yeah.
And the scene after that, he won't be the same character again.
I think again,
Yeah.
but I mean, we're gonna keep bringing up beyond Stranger Things in this. There's a part in there when he's explaining that he's like, well, there's this one moment where they're interrogating me, and I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to act like I don't understand emotions, and I'm trying to understand what emotion I should show because that's what the shadow monster would be doing. And you can then they cut to that scene and like, holy shit, that is exactly what he was doing. He sold it so well. Yeah, that kid was amazing. Like I said, it makes the first seasons like where he's shivering, where he's all fucked up. Like it just sells it even more once you see the second one. That kid I was so happy to see more of him in the season. Although I wish we'd have gotten more like. Again, he didn't get to be a part of the adventuring with the other kids. We didn't get to really see him interact with them much. And in the second season, we only got to see him interact with them so much. I feel like we've still been robbed a little bit, and
we've been robbed of Will the Wise.
Maybe we'll get it the third season. Maybe that's.
I feel like third season. I feel like third season. Let's cut Will a fucking break.
Right?
On this.
God damn, this kid. If he's not already
Jesus Christ, he's in more danger than Liam Neeson's family in the Taken movies, dude.
Right? If that kid is not already severely traumatized, he is not going to survive a third.
He's in a club with Liam Neeson's family and fucking Princess Peach.
And fucking John McClane.
He's still being like tracked or watched or whatever.
Well, no. Okay, the way they left, and they even going back to Beyond Stranger Things, they even kind of touch onto it, and then
well, we're skipping the dance for this. So let's talk about the finale without talking about that.
No, I'm talking about the very last, last shot before
last
credits.
like 10 seconds.
Few seconds of the show. Yeah.
But first season, they left. They wanted to leave it wide open to like we're coming in for a second season.
Anything could happen.
What's going on with Hopper and 11? Like what's going on with the kids? Season 2, even though they know they're going into a third season, they wanted to like package it all up nicely so that like there was a slight thing at the end where it's like, ooh, he's still there. What's going to happen? And he's pissed at 11 now for closing him in. But there was no like Will spitting something out like, oh shit, there's something that's from the upside down
he
here.
Spit out that
the slug
whatever
thing.
the slug,
whatever
it was.
Baby Dimmadog.
It's arguable if that's what that was. Like, we don't.
No,
know.
and they even explain it in the show in season 2. Is like it's something. It looks similar to it. It wasn't the same thing, but it looked. I think they even said something about it on Beyond Stranger Things.
Yeah, I think they discussed it in Beyond Stranger Things.
That it was slightly
in the
different.
show, it flashed like when they were talking about it and talking about like the virus and the host and all that.
Yeah, like we'll flash back to it.
Yeah,
but if even in that flashback, what was his name? What did Dustin call his demigod? Dart.
Yeah. Oh my god! Like that honestly kind of broke my heart. The last scene with Dart.
Yeah.
Where he gives him the Milky Way.
He gives him the Milky Way.
No, what breaks my heart is after it's closed off and like pretty much like it cuts off the rest of the hive mind when it goes back to Dart. It's laying there dead, and there's still a piece of Three Musketeers next to him. Fuck,
and,
that was kind of sad.
And that's how you knew it was Dart, and you're like,
well, not only that, but Dart had the markings,
the little yellow marking on the end. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it more, though, Will was attached to that thing that they had to pull out of his mouth in season 1.
So that,
and if you think about Barb's body, she could have been eaten, or
I think
she
it
could
was
have been
like
bursted open.
Yeah.
So maybe they were laying. Like they were trying to use him as a host to birth demidogs, but they only got the one in, and he spit it up, and then that's what becomes Dart.
No, I think Dart came from the tunnels that were being.
I mean, that's. I mean, I'm just trying to rationalize, or it could just be like that thing will come up in season 3, whatever that little slug thing was.
Yeah.
Could be a thing.
Because even when they did flash back to it, whenever he was talking about Dart, whenever Will did flash back to that one scene, that slug thing was almost black.
Yeah.
Dart was more of a green, especially at that size. He was green.
Dart changed colors.
Yeah, but at that size, especially at that size, dude, he was primarily green.
If they
and
never bring
yellowish.
it up again, and it never comes to fruition to be anything else, that's how I'll rationalize it. It was
fine.
Dart. Yeah, but if it could be a future thing. But they kind of bookended season 2 with like kind of the same shot, because Will goes outside from the arcade and he sees the shadow monster in the red sky and all that, and that's how they ended it.
Yeah.
So they kind of were like, this is how he's attached to Will. Now he's out on his own.
Yeah.
So I feel like they bookended that. Now it could go anywhere, because now it's detached from Will. And again, that boy deserves a break. They need to just go on fucking vacation for season 3.
Because
you know what? Fine. Like,
If
we'll get the
something else
bonding
happens in
season
Hawkins,
4.
I think that like most of Hawkins' population can all agree, like we should all move somewhere else. And let's just,
or
we
just get Will
drop
the
a
fuck
nuke?
away from here.
Who's the shadow monster after? Is it like, does it want like
the
back
Red
at
Ranger
Will?
Fabio character.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay,
Oh my God.
let's talk
The
about
guy that
him.
looks like
Oh
a
my
stunt
God.
double from Lost Boys.
What is their fucking... And that's another thing. I know we'll get it in season 3. We have to get it in season 3. What
Yeah.
the fuck is their backstory? Like,
Okay, originally, or before we actually heard like what their backstory was, and then actually seen the parents and such.
yeah. I was
I
thinking
thought
spies.
I thought that they were more children from Eleven's
That's what I thought.
experience.
Oh,
like
yeah,
I
that
thought there
would've
was
been-
like I thought it was gonna be
that's
like
what
number
I thought.
6 and
I
number
don't
10.
know how I never even considered that.
like
Not
that was my
once.
first thought.
Yeah.
But the more they let into it, it's like, okay, maybe it still is, but they're trying to misdirect us.
But there's
and then once
something
we,
that happened though, because the way that the brother acts and the way that they keep talking to each other, I can't remember the
they went
conversation.
they went into it. It was pretty much just like their parents got together and they made them move.
Yeah,
from
but I
their
think
old
they
town.
had to move for some. I think they had a conversation early on
yeah,
in the
'cause-
season that made it seem like they had to move because she says it's his fault, and he's like, you know whose fault it is. And I don't feel like we
Well,
ever got the answer to that.
Because, well, no, we did, because her mom married his
her mom
dad.
married the dad. And, okay, fuck,
and
man. I was
that's-
hoping there was something deeper there,
Me
though,
too.
that made him more of an asshole.
Me too, but
Well, I mean,
his dad being fucking extremely abusive and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One.
but God, like, I'm so glad that
I really had those
No,
characters
I'm
misread.
so glad to find out that his hair was a wig.
Oh,
That's
God.
what I'm so glad to find
Not
out.
me, man. I kind of wish
No.
he'd have grown that shit for the role. That'd been
His-
awesome.
His
And wasn't it
facial
ironic
hair.
that like the episode that actor was on in Beyond Stranger Things, he was also still wearing an open shirt,
Yes.
like open bare chested shirt.
He was great though. Like in
He
his
was.
role, in
He
like
was.
in what he needed to
Especially
do. he was
like
awesome.
the only other thing I've seen this actor in was a very like, good-hearted Boy Scouts type of role,
Yeah.
which was like
he was
the
in
Red Ranger.
he was in an okay Power Rangers movie. Yeah, and he did all right. Like I had no complaints about him in that movie, so I didn't really think anything about him being in this. I was like, okay, well, we'll
And the thing
see.
is, I didn't realize who it was until after I watched the whole show.
See,
I didn't
the whole
realize who
time,
it
the whole
was.
time, I kept saying,
You-
like, "God, that guy looks so familiar."
You
Yeah.
made that post about that, and I was like, all of season 1, because I saw that post before I started watching season 1. All of season 1, I was like, where the fuck is Billy? Like, I started looking up Steven. I was like, maybe he meant Steven. I started looking him up, and I was like, nope, not Red Ranger. I was like, wait a minute, maybe fucking Jonathan is. Oh, fuck. And then I was like,
Jonathan reminded me of the guy that plays John Connor in Terminator 2.
ooh, yeah.
Mhm.
And I
That's a
felt
good
like
point.
that was intentional to give it that, like, granted, I think
That
Terminator 2 came out,
feel.
like, super early 90s. I think
Yeah.
it's, like, 91, 92 something.
I know
But-
that Steven reminded me of someone, but it wasn't him. I can't
You know who
remember
Steve
who.
reminds me of? John Ralphio off of Parks and Rec.
Yes! That
That's
was
exactly the hair, the every bit of him, dude.
it. I can see
He
him
reminds me of
like
John
doing that
Ralphio.
part perfectly, too. But yeah,
Practically homeless.
oh my god,
You would get that if
he's
you watch Parks and
amazing.
Rec, Odle.
Back to Billy, like he again. He
Billy, I
sold
mean
his-
Jason. I mean,
oh god, Jason
Tom.
David Frank. It was Jason David Frank. Oh my
It
god,
was a
then he
Green
got
Ranger.
Jason David Frank to play Billy. Like he sold everything. So
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
that part where they're about to run down those kids, I was like, is he gonna hit the children? I was like, I don't know
Yeah.
what to expect.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's also the showrunners like you know,
Exactly,
the whole show
But
is
dude, like,
responsible
I mean,
for that.
if you think back on it, dude, like that is definitely an '80s thing, dude. That,
Yeah.
like that dickhead that was like very seductive
kind of
to
a
the
fucking
ladies.
psychopath.
Yeah,
And,
bit of a psychopath that always drove a Camaro or T-Bird
And
or
or an
something.
IROC
everyone-
That always pulled up to school smoking cigarettes.
Oh my god, when they first get out of the fucking Thunderbird.
It felt like
the-
a parody for a second there. Honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
What was the song? that
Rock
was
me like a
playing?
hurricane.
Yes.
Here
I am.
That was so good. And then she gets out with the skateboard. I
Yeah.
love when they're spying on her too. Like, girls
Yeah.
don't skateboard. Like, yeah, but she does.
She did.
Pretty
When she
hardcore.
drops the papers and stop spying on me, creeps.
Yeah. And
So, can we appreciate the fact that like there was hardcore interaction between him and Mike's mom?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh dude, that's
That
brought up
scene.
on Beyond Stranger Things.
that
And the
whole
greatest thing,
scene.
she's sitting there, and they talk about this on that episode of Beyond Stranger Things. She's sitting there reading an erotic novel. If you look at the cover, the dude on it looks almost exactly like Billy
Yeah,
does.
with like
Oh
the
my
hair and
God.
everything.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, but that was such a cute and sinister
I
scene
really-
at the same time.
Am I the pervert of the group here that really now just wants to see a porno with both of those actors?
I was
like, I want to see
really-
that really go.
Like,
Like almost I almost didn't
I just
because
wanted
I
to-
like Mike. I didn't want like his
His
mom to
family.
get banged by Billy, but at the same time I really wanted to see Billy bang his mom.
I just really want to see Mike's mom naked.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
right?
Pretty
Like,
wow,
when
wow.
she
Yeah.
opens the door, damn.
Yeah, like okay, like I already thought she was cute, but that scene ha!
Yeah.
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 Fuck. And like the looks he was giving her, I was like, this is gonna happen.
It's good,
Like, right
yeah.
here. This is gonna happen right down in the kitchen. While his dad's asleep in the
Wasn't
living
he
room.
like pick up a cookie or something?
Yeah, he like snaps
Yeah.
the cookie and stuff. Yeah, and he was like, apparently they had a lot of fun. Like they did so many different takes. Like they were ad libbing a lot too. Like the cookie was an ad lib. Like, yeah, that was awesome.
That's great.
I didn't like 11 with her slick back hair, but I thought she was adorable with her little like
See, I was all right
with
with
her
it.
Shirley Temple fro.
The way she made her entrance, the slick back hair sold.
Oh,
If
yeah,
she had
yeah.
that fro during that
yeah.
entrance,
And that was such a
it would
badass.
yeah, it
entrance,
would have
dude.
been half as badass. That slick back hair
Okay,
really sold.
and they
it.
brought up how she kind of looks like what's her name from Breakfast Club in that scene. But like,
yeah,
when,
the weird one who.
but when she makes her reveal at the dance, she definitely looks like fucking Molly Ringwald, bro. Like,
well, no,
go
you
back
could
and look at
argue
that,
it,
dude.
or you could argue. Well, no.
Yeah, or
If you
yeah,
remember-
I get what you're saying.
If
I
you
get where
remember,
you're going.
not Beyond Stranger Things, but Breakfast Club,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, she
because she
does.
cleans up for the end of the dance.
But still,
yeah.
but her hair's more curlier and shit, and it definitely gives me
Yeah.
more of a fucking Molly Ringwald feel.
yeah.
But
I don't know.
I
The-
feel like you just took us into the dance, and
Well, no,
I'm
coming
coming
in.
in.
I'm
Before
coming
we-
in.
I'm coming in. No, we're going in.
hold on. Okay, before we go in, real quick, let's think back on any other characters and shit.
Okay, yeah.
Dude from Mad About You, being the scientist. That's actually that somewhat decent one.
Yeah.
He's also from Aliens. Or
It was
Alien.
it was a whole another sinister thing because I mean there is that part where he's threatening them, like he shows them the dude using the
He
flamethrower.
threatened
He's
them
like,
in the
"We're going-"
nicest way,
Yes,
like the
and-
most kindest, like
because
Mr.
where the
Rogers
other guy
way.
was very robotic, very very government. This guy
very
was
sinister.
like,
This guy was like, "Oh, he'll make me meatloaf and
it
kill
was
me."
it was reflected in his staff too. Like
Oh, yeah.
you had the one guy who like didn't even notice the lights were going off first. Like, he was just listening to his thing, he was
Right.
just jamming out, and then he
Yeah.
notices there's shit going
I
on.
loved that.
Yeah.
Like that scene.
And the way like the guys who go into with the hazmat suits and like they're joking back and forth with them and everything. Yeah.
God, me and Tiff. Okay, the scene where they're at the detective or whatever the fuck he is, and he's basically coercing them into sleeping together.
Yeah.
How was the
wait a minute.
pullout? How was
yeah,
the pullout?
not-
That line.
Yes,
dude, was great.
and they both
And
Watch
he's
Beyond
going-
Stranger Things. Watch Beyond Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Anyways,
Because that scene where
he's
he's
not
like,
the detective.
he's in there
though.
talking, where he's talking and he's eating cereal, and he dropped cereal, and he looks back at Jonathan and goes, "Oops." That was all improvised. He accidentally dropped it. And if you look at the chick that plays Nancy,
I think it was eggs, but yeah,
eggs. That's
yeah.
what it was. like she's like you can see her starting to smile. Like it looks natural, but like they cut it right at the right moment because the second that they cut it, she bursted out laughing.
They show the extended version of that, like where before they yelled cut, and they all just broke.
Yeah,
because
he was talking about that. Like I mean, he was actually supposed to actually just eat it. But he went to eat it and dropped it, and he goes, "Oops." Just like kind of like playful, like oops. But it played off so
he wasn't
well.
a detective. He was like a conspiracy theorist. Yeah.
Well, because he was the one that was helping.
He was in season 1 for like just like a quick scene, wasn't he? Because they talked about even in Beyond Stranger Things that he was brought back.
No, I think he was a new one because I think he was on that episode of Beyond Stranger Things with all the new characters.
Like he was the one being paid by Barb's parents to find out what happened to Barb.
But that's at the beginning of season 2.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm saying, that's
oh yeah, I know that's who the guy is.
He's like a private investigator.
But he's a new character for season 2, though.
Yeah.
He's hilarious in everything.
He is.
Yeah, he's a great character actor. So anything else before because I want to go in.
I will. The Winona Riders, that family, their house.
Yeah. I saw a post today that said. I saw a post today that said stress level Winona Ryder in any scene of Stranger Things.
Well, like you were starting to say, her house.
Fucking.
They point out how like anytime like a character goes into the house for the first time, they're just like, holy shit!
Yo, what the fuck?
Because anytime someone goes in there for the first time,
I like how stunned Bob was. He's like, I'm not gonna react to this.
I just love how they're like, you can't ask any questions. He's like, all right, I'll play along. Like this is like
again,
he's just naive enough.
But no, he knows what she's been through.
I know, but he's just not like. He's not like, okay, hold on, wait. You guys might be going a little fucking crazy.
Well,
but he's just like, okay, well, let's...
No, he doesn't know exactly, but he knows that she had some sort of traumatic event recently. Yeah. He knows that she's been through a lot.
But then he walks into the house of tunnels. It's like, okay, and then
let's see where this goes.
He gets hooked.
Yeah.
Like, he gets hooked.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because they brought it up in Beyond Stranger Things. Yeah, he gets swept away with the puzzle of it all because he's that kind of character. He's that guy. Yeah.
Isn't that when he brings puzzles for Will?
No, I think that's before.
He brings the puzzles. Remember, she won't let him in. He's about to leave, and then because he keeps talking about how he loves puzzles. Yeah. And he was like, and then he mentioned something about like, don't call me Bob the Brain, and then that's what clicked with her. She's like, wait a minute, come back. Before we get into the
I really didn't expect this to go an hour. Yeah, shit. Yeah, that's a great
Ghostbusters costumes, the Halloween scene, dude. Yeah.
I'm Venkman,
and that's what the whole promo shit. We really started with season 2 was like the fact that it was Halloween. They're just with Ghostbusters. That's from some of the first shit we've seen from season 2. But actually seeing it, because I just saw like quick screenshots, and I was trying to stay away from as much trailers as possible.
Like with anything.
But that's one of my first thoughts when I saw it was like, where did they get like really good looking Ghostbuster costumes in the 80s, like,
and their moms.
But then whenever they show, it's like, oh, they have like a vacuum hose and the handle to a pressure washer, and like they're made like it's duct tape.
Yeah,
especially the trap. The fucking trap. The yellow duct tape.
The montage where the moms are taking the photos. Like I thought that was adorable.
Yeah, that was great.
And the fake out because from the trailer where they're like guys.
Yeah,
and you think it's some horrible thing.
They also bring that up in Beyond Stranger Things.
Yeah, but
they're terrified that they got to school. They're the only ones in costume.
Yeah, but I'm saying the way they sold it in the trailer, you think it's gonna be like some horrible like monster or something. Yeah, but no, it's just nobody else wore a costume. It's so funny. It's so fucking like I can't even say 80s. Just like. Middle school.
Yeah.
Holy shit, we're the dorks who wear costumes.
It doesn't matter what year it is. There's that sweet spot in middle school that
for any nerdy kid.
I'm coming in.
Oh boy, I'm coming in.
And with that, we're gonna talk about the best scene of season 2. Okay, the best thing in season 2.
Real quick. The I'm coming in, what that's referring to, if you were to watch Beyond Stranger Things, was
No. I feel like we should tell a different story before we tell that story.
Then tell that story.
Okay, so one of the cutest things from this is like the first kisses.
Yes.
Okay, I told you a little bit about
Lucas
this,
and Max,
but I feel like we should say it
and
on
Mike and 11
on the podcast before we say the next thing, because while 11 and Mike's was planned, that was in the script. Max and Lucas's was not. Apparently, I guess one of the directors was joking on the first day they were shooting it. It was like, "You ready for the big kiss scene?" And Max was like, "No."
She got so freaked out about that. He's like, "Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get that freaked out? Okay."
Yeah. So yeah, they did, because they were arguing when they first started talking about it on Beyond Stranger Things. They were arguing back and forth because she said it was his fault and he said it was her fault. And he was like, "No, this is why it's your fault, because you gave me the ammunition. Like you."
She said that like she was so nervous, and the whole time,
she showed her.
What's her name? Millie, the one that plays Levin. She was just like kind of hyping her up, but in a way that making her like more and more scared and nervous because but intentionally doing it.
And the greatest thing is that this was actually all four of these actors, all four of these kids' first actual kisses on screen there. And apparently they kept I'll let you tell the next part since you were about to tell Finn Wolfhard's.
Finn Wolfhard was saying that. Well, first, okay, the kid that plays Lucas, they had that kiss. They took, what did they say, like 20 times?
Yeah, like they kept doing
it because they wanted the kiss. Because I mean, it was around like it was a shot where they panned around them.
Yeah.
But they wanted the kiss, and immediately after the kiss, they wanted Lucas's reaction, and just the timing was kept being off. So they kissed like 20 some times. And
like, we're just gonna need you guys
11
to
and
make
Mike,
out for
like
a
Finn
minute.
Wolfhard, like their kiss was what they say, like two takes. Because
maybe a little more than that.
I think they said 2 to 3 takes. Like they said it was just a couple takes.
Yeah.
And they said the reason why they actually got it timed right is because right when they were about to kiss, Mike like kept his mouth like, and you can see it after they brought it up and they pulled it up. You can see his lips like slightly move, but like he keeps his teeth clenched and like his mouth closed. But he says, "I'm coming in," like he's like a ventriloquist when he's coming in to kiss her.
And I swear to God, though, like, at least the next time I go to kiss a woman, that's what it would do. I'm gonna be like, "I'm coming in."
Oh, I did that exact thing too, Becky. After we watched that.
Yeah, but okay. Let's talk about the soundtrack first. The easiest thing to talk about. Holy crap, how amazing is that soundtrack? Because they bust out like 3 or 4 fucking gems. Every breath you take.
Speaking of soundtracks in general on the show, just the instrumentals that would play in the background had a very Goonies sound to it.
Yeah.
And
that was the great thing about Goonies too, because they had a great soundtrack.
But that was a lot of like 80s sound anyway, which was like the classic instrumentals with like the digital sounds. It's like as soon as like synthesizers and shit started coming in to
who was that in Goonies? It wasn't Pat Benatar. It was
that did the score for it.
Yeah,
it wasn't. Was it John Williams? Did John Williams?
No, it was Chick. It was a chick because she made a whole music video for it and everything.
Well,
they had a score, but they had
fuck. What is her name?
Fuck.
God damn it!
Because she was also real famous at the time for making the Rock and Wrestling Connection because she was at WrestleMania 3 or something.
We also had Time After Time.
Time After Time. Yes. You're gonna look up
Romy and Michelle.
You're gonna look up the fucking Goonies.
Keep going.
Every breath you take.
She also sang "Girls Just Want to Have Fun."
Yeah. It's gonna kill me as soon as I see it.
Yeah.
Cindy Lauper.
Yes.
God damn it.
Fuck. All right, but no, I mean, that was the perfect songs for that movie, along with the adventuristic, like high energy.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That sound, the instrumental shit. Mm-hmm. They did perfectly in Stranger Things.
Yeah, that dance was everything you would want from the finale of this. Like,
dude.
Just and then oh my god, and then fucking Nancy dances with
Dustin.
Oh
my god,
yeah, that was so cute. Let's just talk about Dustin for a minute before we actually talk about
Dustin's hair. Let's talk about Dustin's
where he pulls up with Steven, and it's so obviously modeled after Steven.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, that was the whole thing, is that like he essentially got a big brother out of Steven, because you got to think at home he has his mom and he had a cat.
Yeah,
and he had Muse.
We didn't even talk about that
fucking
cat.
Muse.
We're too late now.
But I mean, he had no older brother besides his buddies, and they all got fucking picked on. They really had nobody.
The worst thing is that Steven gives him such terrible advice about women. At
He
least,
does.
Yeah, because he ends up losing Max
by taking
the advice. And it can be argued that he executed it poorly.
But he also boosted his confidence and like. Because Dustin would not have walked up to that many girls that confident and been like, how about a dance?
You also had Steven there, like every time he'd pull one of these moves and fail horribly, you'd have Steven be like,
you got this. You got this.
Good job. It's almost like
one thing that I love though about that whole Nancy Dustin dance was that was Duffers had that planned. Literally one of the very first ideas they had for season 2 was by the end of it, Nancy was going to dance with Dustin.
Yeah, and it was like really like by the end of that season, it was justice for Dustin because he executed all of his confidence, and failed and failed and failed, and then got the hottest girl at the dance.
Yep.
You know, and
the look on the one bitch's face.
Yeah, the one that turned him down.
Oh my god, she was so fucking jealous at that point. Like, what the hell? Yeah, and that's how we know we're not going to see a shaken and
either
shattered Dustin in the next season.
I feel like him or will be like that Longbottom kid from Harry Potter. They'll be the one that, like, as soon as they hit puberty, they'll be the fucking, like, chiseled Greek statue of a man.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
He's, you know, you never can tell with these, like, 80s groups. Like, they always, like, go in such way. I wonder which one of them is going to be the burnout who can't get over their Stranger Things days.
Mike.
No, Finn Wolfhard is fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Dude, he's great.
I haven't watched it yet, but I watched this, like, compilation of all of his, like, cracks and roasts on people throughout the movie, like, of, you know, his lines in the movie of, like, just that. Give me just that kid cussing and talking shit to other kids and calling them fucking vile names for 2.5 hours, bro, and you'll take all my money.
On the Weekly Planet, when they said Finn Wolfhard for Billy Batson, Shazam, like, I love that.
Oh, God, yeah. Man. I love that idea.
Although, I don't know, maybe Will would be a little better, because I think Billy Batson needs to be a little more innocent. And we haven't really seen...
You could make...
I guarantee him.
But, I mean, Billy Batson is actually kind of a dick.
Yeah, honestly, I've read a few Shazam issues, but it's like more recent, at least within the last 20 years. And yeah, he is kind of an asshole.
Okay.
Like, he's kind of a dick to people.
Fuck yeah,
like,
fine. Finn Wolfhard. He could carry that for sure.
Especially, I think it may have been the Injustice storyline. Granted, Injustice is an alternate. Was it Injustice? But I know one of them.
Does he come off entitled? Because I kind of feel
he just comes off as like angry against. I mean, like pissed off at the world. Like, really? I'm in a shitty spot in life.
And what is it? Which animated movie is it? Justice League War, I think it is.
Are you sure it's not Superman versus Shazam?
That's
no. It's Justice League War, where like Billy Batson takes Vic Stone's dad's seat at a football game before hardly any of these people are heroes, and like he's over there, he like cheering Vic Stone on, all this and that, but like he sneaks his way in, manipulates his way into this seat. And yeah, like he's a shady kid.
God damn, Billy.
Well, I mean, he's an orphan. Come on.
I'm kind of glad Superman put a fucking heat vision through your head.
Oh my God. Here's an Elseworld story. The orphan, Billy Batson, gets taken under the wing of Bruce Wayne to become Shazam Robin. Sharabin, yes.
Sharabin. Oh my God. All right, we're off topic again.
Way off topic.
Like, I couldn't stop smiling for that last 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just between the soundtrack and just the adorable moments, which I think, honestly, like, I feel like we talked about everything that happened in the dance, but I feel like I can't stop talking about that dance.
No. And going back to the adorable moments that happened in this show, dude, back before the dance, obviously, the Hopper and 11 moments, dude, were probably some of my favorite moments in this whole fucking season.
At least most of the earliest stuff, like before, like they start butting heads. Yeah.
I loved it.
I loved it too. It's just a different,
but yeah,
totally
like that sweet
thing.
Father-daughter feel.
No, one of my favorites was when like the morning after, like she busted all the glass and everything.
When she's cleaning up?
Well, no. When like he almost makes it seem like he's about to apologize, and he's like,
I want this stuff cleaned up.
This place up, and
I
might consider fixing the TV or something like that.
You're like, come on, like, Hopper.
God, that is a goddamn.
You know what really bugged me? It's like, okay, knowing the year that this takes place and looking at the cords that she pulled off, that TV, all she'd have to do is loosen up 2 screws, put those wires back around those 2 screws, tighten it back up, and you have your TV again.
Yeah,
all he did was rip out 1 wire. And that 1 wire isn't ripped out of anything, it's pulled off of these screws that hold it down.
Yeah, but she doesn't necessarily know that.
Oh, you're telling me she can break fucking gates into alternate dimensions and shit, but she can't.
Yeah, but that's more of a natural connection and a feeling thing. Like she doesn't have a natural connection with.
She spent all this time. all this time in this cabin. You're telling me she hasn't looked at the back of that motherfucker?
She was watching the fucking TV. That's why she never made her way into the fucking basement area before, because she never gave a shit. She was watching TV and reading books.
No, she never found her way into the basement because that would destroy the whole plot.
Because she never made her way into the basement because the plot said so.
Yes. Because the plot called for it.
No, something else I wanted to mention about the dance. When Nancy's serving the punch, and the one kid walks out, he's like, "What's in here?" And she's like, "Pure fuel."
Oh my god, the pure fuel! I love that guy. I want to know more about that guy. I want to know more about the pure fuel guy. Like, let's have a season around him.
Why is there
pure fuel?
There needs to be like a fruit punch flavored drink from Stranger Things called Pure Fuel.
You know what?
I bet it'd pair nicely with the Three Musketeers.
Here's what I'm wondering.
You know what?
Will they continue the like Stranger? Because this was, even when you look at it on Netflix, and it would normally where it would say season 1 and season 2, it says Stranger Things and Stranger Things 2.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna keep that with like Stranger Things 3, or if they're gonna give it a tagline.
Okay, here's a quick
Stranger
one.
Things 3.
Here's a quick
Back
one.
in the
Beyond Stranger Things, you know how like when you're watching an episode of anything on Netflix, that's a show.
Yeah.
Up top it'll say like S1, E1 for season 1, episode 1. Did you notice on Stranger Things it said V1, episode whatever?
No,
it was all V1.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
I don't know what the fuck the V is.
Yeah.
I was racking my brain like, what is V? That would be.
What would be a great title for the next? Like, if they were to tagline forego the
like
3,
if they'd have a subtitle.
Yeah, subtitle.
Stranger Things, shit's getting stranger.
Stranger Things 3.
Even more Stranger Things. The strangest things.
Stranger Things with a vengeance.
The strangest of all things. Stranger Things in space.
Oh my god, if they go to space the next season. Oh, that'd be great. There's an upside down on the moon.
An upside down moon. Okay, here's my question about the upside down. Is the upside down, is there humans in the upside down, or was there ever humans in the upside down?
That's a good question. I think they brought that up.
I thought that maybe in season 2 they're going to explain a little more, which they did explain a little bit more of the upside down, but it's still like, okay, was it like a vibrating, like just branch off, and it's like, you know, like a mirror image of our world, or was it like, were there humans on there and we got some kind of virus and that's what all the demigorgons and all that shit is?
Made all the demodogs
or because the demidogs and the demigorgon from the first season are 2 different things.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So are the demigorgons, were they originally humans, since they're awfully humanoid and shit?
Well, no, but don't the demidogs turn into the demigorgons? Isn't that what? Because they were saying over and over that, you know, one more molt and they'll be full-blown demigorgon.
But I don't know. I don't know if that was supposed to be like a speculation of theirs, or was it actually said so and proven 100% in this season?
There was this whole fan theory that like the Demogorgon that 11 defeated was actually the mirror version of her from that world, because of there were a lot of things that went.
And that's another thing that really confuses me about the upside down and how it works. In season 1, that Demogorgon was able to just appear and reappear. There was no like a break and opening that he just slipped in and out of.
Yeah, he
like how 11 was able to get out of the upside down, where they showed like
that was part of the theory. He can make his own
because with Barb, you know, she's sitting there in season 1 at that fucking pool. There's nothing around her. There's plenty of shots that show that there's nothing around her. And then when that blood hits the water and she fucking disappears, and then then Jonathan looks over there and there's still nothing around her. So literally, Demogorgon appeared, snatched her up, disappeared with her,
whenever Jonathan and Nancy set up all the traps and shit in season 1 to catch the Demogorgon. Remember, they caught him on fire and shit, and then poof, he disappeared. There's just a scorch mark there. So literally, he was able to like pretty much jump between.
And
but it was never really
the thing that
how.
I was getting at though was that when you see her taking on the Demogorgon, it seems like it's mirroring her. Like, she's got one hand up, it's got the exact same hand up, opposite. Yeah. It seems like it's trying to fight her. Maybe that's why she's having to push so hard to defeat this one creature.
I gotta say that scene though where she does fucking throw him up against the wall and like in the school before she sacrifices herself at the end of season 1.
Well, she doesn't. I don't think she dual hands. I think she just has the one. Yeah, because that was part of the whole theory was because she had the one hand up and it had the exact same hand up, just the opposite because it was facing her.
Either way,
and it seemed more like they were fighting each other rather than her just taking care of this Demogorgon.
Such a badass.
Yeah.
The two-hand thing in the elevator though.
Oh yeah,
we didn't even talk about the elevator.
And if you were to watch Stranger Things, you'd know that was apparently just an excruciating scene for her to do because she's like dangling off wires in an elevator that's dangling off wires. She's literally having to scream on top of her lungs.
And apparently it was so loud
and
or something.
Like she has earplugs in.
And they were like, it was actually highly elevated.
It was elevated, and then she like. The elevator was on wires elevated, and she was hanging in the elevator on wires, so it would look like she was like levitating.
And the crew's all the way down here, and they're like yelling "cut," and she can't even hear them. So
because she's screaming, she's screaming, they're yelling "cut," she's still screaming.
Yeah, so it was a pretty intense thing. But yeah, okay, that's a good question. I think the Demogorgons are mirror versions of people. If I had to,
but then why don't we see more?
Well, because who the fuck made the things and shit? Maybe they killed each other. I don't know.
Okay, and the whole what Will was stuck in the first season, you know, the shit they pulled out of his mouth, pretty much like essentially the human batteries from the Matrix. Is kind of what it keeps reminding me of. Like, is that what it is though? Like, are they drawing like essentially like their feet? It's like a spider. When a spider catches an insect in the web and it just like draws all the juices and shit out of it.
I doubt it.
Is that what it is, or are they converting them into Demogorgons?
Well, because I feel like if it were something like that, this world couldn't have existed before, and they'd already.
Because I don't think that they're changing them into anything or nothing like that. Because you're seeing all their remains.
Yeah,
because
like
eaten or like
apparently this hole got opened up by 11, and that's the first time this has ever been a thing, a problem. Because if it had been a previous problem, don't you think that the fucking conspiracy theory guy
No, I'm not saying that like on our side it was a problem, but like say just something happened at some point that it's still
okay, on the other side, that's why there's so fewer humans because they used them all up.
Yeah.
That
or
like
that the virus or whatever it is that is the vines and all that shit has killed off so much of it.
Yeah, that could make sense.
I don't know.
Stark multiverse. It's actually the Batman.
It's actually, there's gonna be a fucking God damn it. There's gonna be an upside down Batman. That's what the shadow monster is. It's Batman.
It's Batman. We solved it. We solved the whole thing.
There you guys go
for season 3. Spoiler alert for season 3. It's Batman.
It's Batman. All right, guys. Well, I think wow, this went a lot longer than I thought it would. But there's such a good show. There's so much to talk about.
Dude, and I guarantee we're going to get done with this and we're going to think of more shit. We're like, oh my God, why didn't we talk about whatever?
We were going to talk about fucking
Captain Marvel about the arcade.
But we're not getting to Captain Marvel now.
Oh God. And about how Nick Fury loses his eye.
With the chopsticks.
The
after credits
scene. Just know that I'm calling it now.
Shit.
Just know that I'm calling it now.
We saw the early release of it.
Yeah, just know that I'm calling it now. My money's on it. Nick Fury's going to lose his eye in Captain Marvel, and it's going to be because he sneezed while eating with chopsticks.
It's going to play like a really
yeah, kind of like the shawarma scene at the end of like Avengers, where it's just real quiet and they're sitting there eating,
just zooming out.
But it's like there's not going to be disaster shit behind Nick Fury. He's just on lunch, eating fucking General Tso's.
Yep.
You're gonna be
a little bit
too much pepper in that General Tso's, and it makes him sneeze. And
All
There
right.
goes the eye.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast with us, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you've already seen the show and you just wanted to hear what like 3 fucking schmucks from Southern Ohio thought about it.
If we just
I mean, that's what I like doing
for
when I
you,
get done watching
oh,
shows
well.
and movies. It's like, I'm going to see what other people think about
Yeah,
it. And
like,
I'll
what-
watch YouTube
what does this
videos
fucking
or
guy
listen to
think?
podcasts about it.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we brought up some arguments or we made some insights or
And
something
hopefully,
for you.
you know,
Yeah.
this would actually be a great podcast if people watched seasons 1 and 2 of Stranger Things, but not Beyond Stranger Things.
You know,
'Cause they would have caught all kinds of new information if they don't watch Beyond Stranger Things.
And I feel like a ton of people are just gonna skip Beyond Stranger Things. So
Oh, yeah.
maybe we helped you out there.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is so long that I think I'm just gonna make this an SMP, a bonus
A
SMP,
A full
Yeah,
on
a
SMP.
full SMP, just Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
What's it gonna be
we'll
titled?
we'll
What's
call
the
it "I'm
title of
Coming
this
In."
I'm coming in.
Yeah, it's called "I'm Coming In." But then people won't know it's much. Well, that's why the description's there.
That's one of the descriptions.
All right, again, guys. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human.
James Odle, Alphaspecter.
Bob Collins, Boba Fett, or Bob Gorgon.
Bob Gordon.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is a good one.
I might come
Yeah.
back from the upside down as Bob Gordon.
All right, yeah, I
Maybe
dig
not.
it.
I don't know.
We always miss you, Bob. We miss him.
I know. And believe me, I miss you too. And I want to be involved a lot more than what I am.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'm like, oh man, I really want to record this weekend. It's not really times that you guys are recording, or I find out you guys
No,
just got done
literally
recording, and I'm like,
every
God damn it, I wish I
time-
would have recorded it with them tonight.
Every single time you message me to check if we're recording, it's the opposite
Yeah.
week of we're recording. You always miss it by a week.
It
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a good thing because I'm not reading anything current. So like, especially the "What are we reading" section I will always be stressed and
Yeah,
always
fuck
skip
it.
over.
And, like, I mean, we can figure it out. That's what I'm for. That's why I write the show. Like, I can figure it out. To Bob Gordon. We need it.
I'm there.
All right, guys. Again, all the social media was up at the top of the show. Like, rate, comment. If you're not, while you're liking, comment, and while you're rating, comment. And while you comment, probably go
Comment
ahead
again.
and comment.
And if you like the podcast and you're part of a Facebook group or something with similar interests, like a comic book or nerd type group.
Yeah, share the shit.
And if you dig us, share us to people that might dig
if
us
you've
too.
made it this far, it's obviously share worthy.
I mean,
if you've tolerated us this far, you care
what,
enough
like
to
you
share.
mean by this episode or by the end of this particular?
By the end of this
Okay.
particular episode, I
then
assume.
yeah.
Play that upside down outro
Play
music.
that.
Funky
fuck you guys.
music.
Play that snowball outro music.
Oh, he's coming in.